Joining us now is Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, who joins us from here in the city. Good morning to you, Mayor.
Good morning.
I want to begin with the people most directly impacted by this, the community here behind me, and the condition of the people wounded. Can you share any updates with us?
We know that 2 kids were tragically killed. We know that many more were injured. As horrible as this was, it could have been a whole lot worse, but for the incredibly brave faculty and teachers that protected these kids from harm, the police officers that ran towards danger when the rest of us could have ran in the other direction. This was a horrific tragedy in Minneapolis. And then again, how many times have you heard politicians talk about an unspeakable tragedy, and yet this kind of thing happens again and again? Prayers, thoughts, they are certainly welcomed, but they're not enough. Right now, we have a city that is united in grief, and we have a city that is going to be united in action, because the truth is that there needs to be change so that we don't have another mayor in another month and a half talking about a tragedy that happened in their city.
This picture that we now have of the shooter is incredibly disturbing. Here in Minneapolis, there are very strong red flag laws around gun control. Do you believe there were missed signs here in Minneapolis?
I don't know all the details yet, and so I'll speak generally, though. We have more guns in America than people. I don't see a reason why people should be able to buy a gun one month and then buy a gun the next month and then the next month after that. People, obviously, that have these severe mental health issues should not have access to guns. Yet this particular individual had access to a whole heap ton of them. People who say that this is not about guns, you got to be kidding me. This is about guns. We do need to take action. There are other countries around the world where horrific acts have taken place like this, and then they step up to make a change so that it in fact does not happen again. We can take that same sort of action here now, and let this be the last time. Again, how many times have you heard people talk about this, and there needs to be a necessary change, and then change isn't made? It's on all of us.
Mayor Frey, I want to come back to the 2 little children, the 8- and 10-year-old who lost their lives here in your community yesterday. Have you spoken to their families?
Their families are going through quite a bit of grief right now at this moment, and I was in a room with them, but they need some time to process this, and I am available for anything that they could possibly need. And look, we have to be thinking about them not as somebody else's kids, but as our own. Think about them as our own kids. Consider how you would feel. Think about, that last interaction that you had with your children this morning. You kiss them goodbye, you shove some applesauce in their hand. It's the little annoyances that are actually kind of beautiful. And every parent should have the assurance that their kid is going to be able to get home safely. And tragically, that did not happen for these parents right now. And so we all have different, titles in life, professional and otherwise. But I'll tell you, the titles that matter most to me, it's husband and it's dad. And just last night, I only got about 3 hours of sleep. But when my daughter Frida climbed into bed with me and, I get hit in the face with a foot, the things that are normally frustrating, I cherished every minute of it. I have a 3-week-old right now.
You thank God for it.
And
wow.
Changing a diaper at 2 in the morning, it's something that last night for sure I said, you know what, thank God she's okay and she's with us right now. But we have this obligation out of love for all of our children to make sure that this kind of thing never happens again. And we have an obligation, again, not just to feel grief in this moment, which is righteous, but we need to show action, which is essential.
I know that feeling. I hugged my children when I left New York to come back home to Minneapolis, so I appreciate it greatly. Thank you, Mayor Frey.